welcome to the inner world of emotions.
I'm so happy to be here with you. It's an honor. I'm very grateful. Um, and I'm so excited to have you a part of the show, The Inner World of Emotions, specifically the segment, Do You Feel Me? And the audience really wants to know um, how they can really be a part of your experience and what
Mm.
you were feeling as you were directing The Darkest Light. And there's something about what I was witnessing um, as I was watching The Darkest Light that just it's just I don't want to express what I feel uh, because I want the audience to really get a sense of how you feel as you were directing. What what was happening? I mean,
Mm.
throughout the period, throughout the entire trajectory of the film, the production, that you couldn't shy away from and you kept coming back to.
Mm. Wow. I think there was a real internal struggle going on because I grew up as someone who had a lot of reverence for this person and his music, as well as like a lot of
Shlomo.
aware Shlomo, that is, yeah, that's the person in question.
Yes.
Yeah, and as well as I observed a lot of people with very deep reverence for Shlomo, and I was interested, to the extent possible, to create something that could both, you know, honor his immense spiritual legacy and
And what he brought,
and
what he really brought to the communities
yeah,
throughout the world, all the Jewish communities throughout the world.
exactly. And I think something that I really related to, that a lot of people share about him is, it seemed like he was somebody who, no matter, how broken or lost or, downtrodden you were, he was sort of an open door for people.
Mhm.
And of course, as we learn, he would also, he would take advantage of that as well. But that wasn't always the case, and there are many, many people who, really credit him with kind of saving their lives and, you know, um, and like turning them on to spirit.
Yeah,
And
that's very powerful and so honest. I mean, you could even I think anyone who watches The Darkest Light and witnesses just the stories that everyone was telling about Shlomo, you can sense this this feeling, this internal struggle that you're talking about. I mean, it's almost hair raising because it's so real, it's so honest, it's a purity to it. And really, I think what you're describing in this internal struggle is there feels to be this kind of boundless nature about him, but there needed to be some bounds to it. And so, but it's the boundlessness that gave the room for the music and the voice and how,
yeah, yeah, like someone once said to me that I thought was interesting, like the music itself had no boundaries,
yeah.
you know, because the music kind of, it reminds me of a little like Kirtan or something, like that kind of repetitive melody. Like you can just almost get into this trance that really breaks down walls. Um, yeah,
Do you think gosh, I just have to just jump. I know this is sort of segueing a little outside of it, but we'll bring it back.
yeah,
It's not a derail, but more so him being a part of the last ship. There was something about that in his youth
right.
that kind of did something there.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I think that he was, and I know, and I understand you're a therapist, and I know, like I almost wish I, could have sort of gotten more into like what was his childhood really
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But
because
this this
I'm sure there's a lot of material there, and of course the
oh my gosh, this is
hurt
so
people.
beautiful, and how
Hmm.
music is such a transcending experience for so many of us.
Hmm.
And I think what Shlomo was bringing really was this something that he felt in the
Hmm.
waters
Hmm.
as he was traveling.
Mm-hmm.
coming into the lands and being able to go back to Israel
Mm-hmm.
and share that gift with the world and break some of those barriers with his daughter. And I mean, this is, we could see how, I mean, really, Simon, we could see how you could feel this sort of internal struggle here.
Yeah. No, and I'm really, really glad you say that because I think that a fear I have about the film and something I've been, something I've been getting from some of like the, like the passionate followers. And I'd also be curious for your view of this as a psychoanalyst. But is, it's like, yeah, it's like what I think for some people, like there is there is such a kind of there is just like a real, I guess, fear of like holding both these realities of a person, or the sense that like if you acknowledge too deeply the harm, then it means like all of the all of the good that he did, which I think you're correctly identifying, came out of this really broken place.
Yeah.
Like I think he witnessed, I'm sure he witnessed a lot in his childhood in Germany and like the rise of Nazism and all of that. And then he sort of came as this person who noticed this sort of like traumatized, post World War II generation that didn't really want to sing and didn't want to dance and didn't want to like hold each other physically. And I think he kind of maybe something about him, like part of him was drawn to that with like the best of intentions, but then maybe it mapped onto some of the darkness he had and he just took it too far, and he kind of abused that closeness or something, me not being an
I love
expert on
that.
that, of course.
I, you
But
know, I would humbly disagree. I think you
yeah.
spoke it so well. I mean, the the speaker is the expert when it's spoken so well and the room can feel you.
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
that's such a textured way. I mean, you really you've mapped it out for all of us. You're the director. You see it. You composed it. I mean, it all kind of integrates together.
mm.
And I'm thinking
Yeah.
about this.
Integration's a great word. It's one that's come up a lot because it's sort of like the failure to integrate that I
Yeah.
think leads to like the split,
Wow.
around him. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I
No,
Yeah.
that was brilliant. Hmm. Because it is about the failure to integrate. And then you can see both the light and the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense of that. I think it's really what you were describing. And I mean, I want all of the viewers, especially, I feel this is going to be more in light of the intellectual crowd, especially the analysts, the psychoanalysts who feels that they don't have any access to the film and television world in a real way, where we're sort of put in this boat where we're kind of seen as the ivory tower and the elite, and no one has access to us unless you have a certain type of resource or you're from a certain type of community or
Sure.
culture.
Sure.
And then the rest of the world, and there's this struggle, like how do we bring everyone else in, but how do we honor what we still have?
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to get brought in. I was able to work with Holocaust survivors. I was able to attend Shabbat. I was able to go to synagogues. I was able
Mm-hmm.
to experience that, and which I'm immensely grateful and
Mm-hmm.
appreciative about. And,
Yeah.
and and I still sometimes question like how much access do I can I really have here? And I think when you talk about integration, this is what we really want to feel. It's that sense of community, that sense of family. And I think Shlomo wanted everyone else to feel that too. And I think when he got in a position where he felt powerful enough, it kind of it was in conflict with the part of him that was powerless when he was in his
Mm,
childhood,
mm,
and he was attempting to make those two worlds make sense.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating. That's fascinating.
I mean, it was Simon. You brought it up.
No, no, but do you think there's anything also maybe like a kind of split that existed in him or in people? Like I've wondered about that too.
I mean, literally, that's the exact word. It's it's a genuine split. It's a
Yeah.
psychoanalytic concept.
Yeah.
Your mother's an analyst, so you know all about it
Yeah.
naturally,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, how how does that, with that feeling that you're still holding on to, Simon,
Mhm.
and you're bringing really this honest and raw world to the world,
Mhm.
not just tribe, but the world.
Mhm.
How can how are you able to stay with that feeling that everyone else can share with you, that internal struggle that I'm pretty sure Shlomo gave literally everyone else too?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. And I feel like there's maybe a certain maybe I think of like just being grounded in it, and being kind of courageous to really own it. And it's something I've been, really loving about these conversations is I feel like because I've had a fear that, like I don't want to sound like I'm apologizing, for his abuse, which is certainly not something I want to do. Um,
It's true.
and yeah, and I also, I don't want to sort of like I want to really because what I feel is actually a genuine struggle. And I think I don't want to be, afraid to kind of share that. And maybe that's kind of the truth that I have to, and it's not a struggle that's born out of like, do I believe that he did these things or not? Like that's not to me what it's about. I think the struggle is about like how you actually like how you can kind of hold this reality of him, in a way that kind of invites people from all subjective experiences into the conversation.
I mean, that's really what Shlomo was about. He was about sharing that language in
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
And I think you really identified it in this moment for all of us to really hold on to in your experience as you truly held the position of the director, where we can experience that split from a grounding position.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that is really my goal with it. Um and I've yeah, I've seen the conversation there's been a lot of conversation on Facebook about it.
In
You
some of
know,
the groups.
yeah, and some of the groups and just kind of people kind of reacting to the film without really having seen it, but feeling like, oh, is this just like it's either like, is this just like another attack on Shlomo or like,
Yeah.
they're
I
yeah,
love how you brought in the Michael Jackson in the beginning. It's really
oh yeah.
so clean. It's just right there. Just right there.
Right. And of course we're in the time where that movie just came out, that really does sort of avoid,
Yeah.
any conflict around that.
Gosh,
Um,
this is such
yeah.
a powerful film. I don't I don't think I really was able to fully grasp what I was getting myself into
Mm,
by having an interview with you and just having this moment, which I'm immensely grateful for. All of this is, I
mm,
think, one way of keeping myself grounded here is remaining grateful.
mm. Well, I feel
And
the same way, Frederick. I feel like I'm having a little therapy session here myself as I prepare to kind of take the film out for its premiere on Sunday, like, and get all these, different responses to it. I just feel like I really want to be grounded in my own truth and my own feeling around it. And that can be hard, can be really hard.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It can be hard because sometimes you get pulled in different directions based on how the audience really sets themselves with the intent of making sense of
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
how easily the porous experience can open you up to kind of shifting away from where you are in your state of groundedness.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be
Absolutely.
very challenging, especially as a director who goes off of impulse and instinct and holding on to intention. Wow, there's so much here. But the music, I think you really created it in the score. The music
Mm.
gave because I mean, just like Shlomo was able to do, we heard the music in different forms,
Mm-hmm.
orchestra
Mm-hmm.
and voice and
Mm-hmm.
different genre. I mean, it was just always there.
Mm-hmm.
About scripture, and he talked about the two Torahs. I mean, it was just so. I mean, if you couldn't really understand the culture, the tribe, I think you could get a better glance of it by watching The Darkest Light.
Mm. Thank you. I'm no, I'm so grateful to hear you say all those things, and I'm really really glad. Yeah, just
we
thank
we're
you.
we're we're so appreciative of who you are, Simon. You gave us this honest view. I think you didn't shy away from stepping into your internal struggle and holding on to the split, which is kind of what we want. We want to stay with the ambiguity. We want to stay with the ambivalence of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
ambivalence is where really the meat, all of it
Mm-hmm.
is the true meat.
Mm-hmm.
How can the audience stay up to date with where you are, where the festivals are? How can they,
Yeah.
maybe if someone wants to reach out to you to hear more about you, how could they stay
Yeah.
in contact with you?
Yeah, so I have a website for the film. It's the darkestlight.com. So just the name of the film.com. There's a contact tab there where I would welcome and greatly appreciate anybody reaching out. You can also sign up for the newsletter there
Okay,
where, I'm going to be sharing updates on when it's going to continue to do its festival run throughout the fall. So, so I
absolutely.
hope it will be coming to a festival near your audience members very soon.
And I'm pretty sure it will. I mean, because this is a story that, I mean, it really just needs to be told. And I think it gives a sense of humanity and holding on to grace throughout the experience. Um, so Simon Mendes, we're so appreciative. Uh, and it's going to be an honor to have you a part of the more elongated segment of Do You Feel Me? Because I felt you. And I'm sure the audience will as well.
Thank you, Frederick. Likewise. Really, thank you so much.
All right. Well, take good
Bye bye.
care.
You too.
Okay.